welcome to the New Word Norm Insight. As you know, my name is Tim Moore and I am the Global Risk Director here at New Word Norm. I have not just one guest for you today, but I have two special guests, Vanessa and Stuart from Rod FM. And I first met Vanessa at the Fire and Security Excellence Awards. And it was great just to hear the story of a new business startup. So I'd like to welcome Vanessa and Stuart. And how are you today?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Very good. Stuart, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Brilliant. Well, look, it's good to have you on board. I mean, I met you at the Excellence Awards and, you know, your backstory to your business, I think is very interesting. And as a new business myself, it's just great to hear about other people, about how they actually build their business. So my audience will kind of go, okay, it's great to know about these entrepreneurs, but let's know a little bit about them and how do they start their own business. So Vanessa, Stuart, how did you start your own business?
Yeah, no, it was great meeting you at the awards. I think we had some good fun there, didn't we, that evening? So it was great telling you the story. But yeah, Stuart and I go quite way back, really. We've known each other for quite some time and worked together at Mighty. And he was my procurement manager there. And then we all got made redundant, unfortunately, there quite several years ago and moved on similar roles, both of us doing similar sort of thing. And in my previous company, there was a role that come up for head of procurement. So I contacted Stuart and said, did you want to come on board? And he did, which was great. We had some fantastic plans. We got things kind of moving, but unfortunately, things kind of escalated a bit quickly and we all got made redundant a little bit sooner than expected. So a little bit frustrating. We both kind of thought that this was going to be our forever job. So we didn't really want to go elsewhere. We didn't really want to do anything else and work for anybody else. And we started talking, and even the rest of the team as well were quite keen on continuing what we were doing. So she said, well, let's just do it ourselves. Why not? Let's start our own company and see what we can do. We had a lot of interest. A lot of the clients were really keen to still work with us, which was really encouraging. The rest of the team as well wanted to come along and join the journey. So that's what we did. We started our own company and here we are. So that was back in October and yeah, it's progressing pretty quickly. Yeah, it's a bit of a whirlwind, but it's really exciting because I managed to meet some fantastic people, obviously yourself being one of them, doing this and getting out there. And we had our first official job over the weekend as well. That was good. And we're just waiting for some other bits to come through. And it's going well. It's good.
Excellent. I mean, look, I've been made redundant as well. And ironically, the advice I was given some years ago was actually out of redundancy generally comes a better role and a better life. And I didn't necessarily believe it at first, but actually what you described there was exactly what I have learned from being made redundant. So something not so good can turn into something positive, and it's really good to hear the start in your journey. So
definitely.
Tell me a little bit about your roles. What is it you do in your business?
So we are a facilities management company. We pretty much a one-stop shop for everything that you need in facilities management. So ultimately, we look after any sort of premises, from cleaning to maintenance, like plumbing, engineering, but not limited to things like refurbs, solar panels, energy management, really everything that's around looking after the building of any sort of premises that you have, really. We try and go out there and do a bit more of a bespoke solution. So you've got the big players of the world, obviously, that are out there and doing these things and going out there, but we're a bit more bespoke. We kind of go in and have a look and see what you've got, and just put something that suits the client a bit better, a bit more bespoke, and look at the things long term. There is so much technology out there as well. We're all going down the sustainable route as well. So we're really just trying to kind of help those clients get there. And ultimately, that's what we do, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's security as well, which is another part, another big string to our bow. But we're being careful with the sustainable route to not just go down the kind of the greenwashing, just pretend it, just to tick a box. Is to actually do what we say we're going to do, and give our customers a service which they makes their life better in effect.
That's so refreshing here. I think there's two things I hear for you about your green and sustainability. I think that's amazing. I think, I think, I've become more accustomed to this over the years, that it's actually really important. But more importantly as well, and I think, you talk about the big players, and look, there are big players, and there's just definitely a space for them. But I've found in the last year of running my own business that you've actually done something which I did as well. You talked about being bespoke. And I think some degree there is a real market for this bespoke approach because, no longer is it one service fits all. Our customers, our clients, they're different and they need then a different service level. Are you finding that when you speak to customers?
Yeah, definitely. They're all very, very different in how they work, the different ethos that they have, the type of clients as well, because you've got, one of our expertise is the clinical side and then you have the manufacturing side, but they're both trying to get down the same route in terms of the sustainability, but the actual premises themselves require completely different regulations. One's done obviously by the CQC, the other one's like if it's food manufacturing, you have food standards. If you've got different types of manufacturing, it's just completely different. So it isn't, and like you say, an all fit service for one kind of thing. It's definitely a bespoke thing that you need to go in and you need to kind of be in there and really looking at everything that they've got, and that's the thing that they don't have the time to do. The clients just kind of want the basics and the bare minimum done just to kind of get them through. But yeah,
I think because of our size, it enables us to be more dynamic and obviously meet the customer's needs rather than have these big organisations. They have to run to sort of a cookie cutter approach to the service, whereas we are able to go, you don't want this part, that's fine, well, let's change it, let's make it what's going to work for you. And
I think you're absolutely right. I think as well, businesses of all sizes now are understanding that that the cookie cutter approach has worked so far and it's done its role, but actually the businesses now need more bespoke services like yourself. I mean, if you were speaking out to an FM company or somebody that's trying to break into this industry, what is the problems that you're trying to fix for your customers?
I think it's a time thing. Again, just going back, the clients that we've been speaking with, and majority of them, they just don't have the time. They're there to do a job. So we tend to deal with people like procurement managers, like heads of procurement. They're the people that make the decisions and, do the thing. But they're working for their company as a procurement manager, not for the building. So they then start getting phone calls about, we've run out of toilet paper, the light bulb's changed. And it's just something that they just do not want to deal with. So unless they've got someone dedicated within in the building, which not many people seem to, they struggle. And it just goes to different departments. That person deals with that person deals with that. They then panic, light bulb's gone out, we need to get somebody, just call the local person, get charged 500 quid, and that's sort of done. Whereas having a facilities management company just takes that headache away from them. You make sure that it's all obviously done. But main thing is as well, it's just the compliance side of things. There is a whole, as you know, the health and safety aspect of it. You need to make sure that the building's compliant. You need to make sure your staff are safe. But ultimately, you're just making the building nice, just making sure that it's litter-free, that it's clean, and it just makes people happy when they come to work. You don't want to be going into a horrible building with dirty toilets and no toilet paper.
Again, I think, though, commerciality has changed. I mean, an ROI was based on in the past, which is, what should be the return on investment. But what businesses are doing now is also including that is efficiency savings, time being one of them. And you mentioned that very well. And I'm finding exactly the same, which is time is not on the side of the people employed in these positions because they have less headcount and less resources from budget issues or controls that they might be under. So using an outsourced service just allows them to free up time. So the efficiency is ROI plus time. And I think that is probably a very big thing that you're actually going to do in the FM world. So your clients must be loving you at the moment because if you're saving them time, they must be really happy with that.
Oh, they are. I mean, one of the ones that we're dealing with at the moment, they're quite excited, and I think they've just been promoted as well, and they're taking on a lot more, and they've already started to speak to us about these new premises that they'd like to bring on board with the same thing, and just being able to get on with it and having it all done. And I think all the different sites are all happy as well that they won't have to deal with these things and can just call somebody and get it sorted as opposed to trying to find it themselves. But like you say, the saving of the money as well, it does make it a lot easier.
It's so refreshing to hear. You talk about being green. You're talking about, bespoke. You're talking about time saving. I mean, this is an exciting time for you, right? Talk to me about how you transition from. I'm bearing in mind, I've done it myself. From working for somebody to working for yourself, right? Because there's a lot more to it to some degree, right?
There is, yeah. I mean, like Stuart said, it's been quite full on. Just the little things like setting up phone numbers and registering your address and getting all the taxes and stuff done. But one of the big things is we've been doing it already, to be honest with you, and that was the nice thing about it. It's a little bit scary, but not. But when we were speaking to our family and friends, obviously we were waiting for someone to kind of turn around and say, "Oh, this is a bit risky," but they were like, "This is really good. This is a great idea." And it was quite shocking. Everyone's behind us, and we've got lots of people who are quite risk adverse, and they've been jumping up and down, actually really excited, and really helping us out and pushed us forward. So it's been quite nice. But I mean, we've been doing it already. There's a lot of help out there as well. So we've joined the Chamber of Commerce. We've joined these network meetings. We've met some people who have made some great connections for us and really, really helped us out, haven't they? Like obviously yourselves and a couple of the guys that we met at the Security Excellence Awards, previous people that we've worked with as well, that were there from Mighty, who are quite keen to obviously speak to us about what we're doing as well. So it's been exciting. It's just learning, just making sure that you just do your research, just go out there and look. It's all out there. The information is there. You've just got to find it and use your resources around you.
Wow. Hey, I'm going to ask this question, right? Because I'm on my own. I don't have a business partner. So how does it work? Like, is it like a marriage? And you're like, sometimes you might let
yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, we're both good at what we do in each. They say we do kind of work really well together. If I freak out a lot, he can't freak out. So he calls me, say, pick me out to go and find the sandwich and the bottle of Lucozade the next day after the Security Awards. So when we were doing our audit, but it's good. It's nice knowing that you've got someone to kind of bounce things off. Previously, I was in the previous company. I was doing everything on my own, and it was quite a lot of pressure. Didn't really have anyone to kind of bounce off, so it's nice having that second person there. Well, for me anyway.
Yeah. I think Vanessa's known me for a long time, both through work related things and also on a personal basis. We've known each other for a long time, so she knows my strengths and weaknesses, and she's able to kind of. I think when with the previous company we were with, she was. I think she was keen to bring me in, not just for the skill set that I have, but also because she did really feel under pressure.
Yeah,
and she knew that I would be a calming influence. So not that she falls apart, but it's just a lot. There can be just a lot, and if there's no support network there for you, it can be hard. And obviously, I know you're doing it on your own, so that's I would imagine going to be tricky. But if you've got like a good family network that helps you, or
Stuart, it sounds like I need a fast dial straight to you from time to time. Okay,
send you my number.
But no, it's really good and having that, because like you said, it was quite a lot. I've started from the bottom. I started at a service desk, so I know what it's like to be right down there doing those, speaking to the engineers, speaking to cleaners, doing all of that. So I'm quite conscious of the staff as well. So even though being up there, I was always very much aware of what was going on with the cleaners. So I was always quite conscious. And when we were doing the redundancies, it was really quite a lot to kind of deal with all of them as well. So unfortunately, he did join and we were made redundant, but that helped. And that's really what pushed us to kind of carry on doing what we're doing. So,
Hey, I think the audience would love to hear, the question I get asked a lot, and I'm going to ask you this, which is, as a business startup, how's it all work? What's your best bit of advice you can give? Because, everybody probably looks at business now, and having a bit of a scare behind it. But actually, I actually think it's an equal world now, because ultimately, the risk of you staying in a job for a long time versus the risk of you running your own business, I think now is equal, where before it was slightly different. But what would your advice be to somebody that's thinking about starting up or just starting up?
Back yourself, go for it. I think if you believe in what you're doing and you're doing it already, and even if you're not, research and just go for it. There is, again, a lot of help and advice out there, and if you go to the right places, they will help and support you and take the advice as well, take the criticism. Don't just think, oh, I've got this great idea, or no, you're wrong. If someone tells you, no, it's not going to work, ask why, and then have a look at those and find a solution, try and get around it, but persevere and back yourself, I think.
100%. Listen to criticisms from people, because often it might not be, it's their point of view, and we have to know that everyone in this world has got a different point of view. Everyone sees things through their own eyes, and it can be very easy, and we're lucky because there is the two of us. So oftentimes Vanessa will come up with something, or I'll come up with something, and we'll pitch it to each other, and I mean, we make a point of trying to pick it apart, because it's important that we've done that, because we've already passed stage 2 or 3 of the kind of is this a good idea or not process. But definitely, I mirror what Vanessa says there. You've got to back yourself, because you're either in or you're out. Don't go half-heartedly into it, because that's I think that's a fatal mistake. You've got to decide you're going to do it. Check you can fund yourself to be able to do it. I mean, that's an important part, because the stress of not having any money can be detrimental to your health, I believe.
And be realistic as well. Don't outprice yourself, because that's something that Stuart kind of pointed out. Don't do things for free just to get the business. You're worth something. That's the reason you're going out there. The time that you're spending at the consultancy, that's worth the money that you're being paid. So back yourself again. Yeah, just
100%.
Don't.
I think it was a great bit of advice that I hear from as well. Back yourself. I love that, by the way, and actually saying I'm going to keep remembering for myself, because I do have the down days, right?
And stick a sticky note up on your mirror. Just put that up there. There you go. Back yourself.
Exactly. And I think Stuart, you're absolutely right. Be fully committed to it. Yeah, don't just play at it. Yeah, okay, because I think that sometimes can be that can be a shadow of, are you in or you're out? And I think you're absolutely right. So yeah, fantastic. So let's finish off with getting some kind of some idea behind what are the challenges in the industry at the moment? What are the challenges that the industry are facing where you help them?
Money, I think, is a big thing, really. Yeah. Unfortunately, it does always boil down to money. They've always got budgets, and it seems to be the last thing that they're thinking of as part of their business. So as a business, you're there to run the business. You're not really thinking about, has the window broken, or there's a leak in the toilets or something like that. It's not on your forefront of your mind. So that's just, I think, educating people, making them aware of that facilities are a thing and you do have to do something about it. So
yeah, if you want to be compliant, if you want your building to be compliant, and you want your staff and the people that work in your building to have the to enjoy coming to work and want to come to your place of work, then you need to invest in that, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, it's just looking at the bigger picture. It really isn't just about cleaners coming in and cleaning the office. It really does. The facilities range from all sorts of things to how easy it is to get into the building, how easy it is for someone just to sign in. Then you have to think about all the GDPR stuff, like you say. Yeah. But there again, there's lots of tech out there that helps you, so you don't have to have someone at reception constantly. There are other ways around it, so you can save money. So if people think, oh no, that means I'll need a receptionist and I'll need this, that and the other. It's like, well, no, there are other solutions to it, and they're cost effective, sustainable. They work for that specific company. It's there's so much out there, and it's just getting people to listen, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's where to look for it as well.
Yeah.
That's where we can come in, our expertise. Because you can go online if you want to buy something or do something. The first thing people do is they go and find their search engine, probably Google, let's say, and they'll go on and they'll just search for it, and they'll look at the top 5 things. Well, a lot of there's still people out there that don't know that the top 5 things in that list are paid for. So you're not necessarily getting what is the best result. You're getting who's paid the most money to be in the top slot, and with us, obviously, we've done the research to see if these things are they good or not, and so we can help you out.
Yeah, we work with partners that again we're a bit more. It's not just. We're not, again, with the sustainable thing, we don't just have a load of people in London and then we send them up north all over. We've got people that are based in the actual areas. We try and help with, not having to travel so far. Don't do meetings unnecessarily on site if we don't need to. You've got FaceTime, you've got, Google Meets and Teams these days. There's just no need for it. You can do everything remotely, and it's just again changing people's mindsets and just educating them. I mean, don't get me wrong, we'll go to a site when we need to, and that's what we'll do, but we'll make sure it's a full day's work that's booked in, and you're there from first thing in the morning till late at night, not just for a couple of hours for a meeting and then coming back again. And one of the things that I found, which was quite fun, and I saw, but I get the train a lot, and I was just sitting on the train when it was delayed and playing with the app, and there was a sustainability report on there, and it just had your sustainable journey, and I clicked on it, and it showed the difference between me getting the train and if I would have driven, and the amount of journeys that I'd done, and it was equivalent of, I'd saved the equivalent of 3 months of my washing machine permanently on by getting the train as opposed to driving in. And it was just little things like that. And it's just, when you see that, it does make you think. It really does make you think. It's not something, and we all do it. We say we're sustainable and recycle, but let's face it, we all do the little things that you shouldn't do. But it's just remembering them, and just when you take note and you read something like that, for me, it's just it definitely makes a difference.
And it's so refreshing. And I think as well, the fact that you're thinking ahead for the business that you're going to get involved in, to the degree that you're thinking about using localized contractors as opposed to, like, driving them around the country. And I think that's just awesome. And a big well done, because ultimately you've given us a real thought to it as well. And I think, what listeners will get out of this is just listening to a business, today's normal business, right, who are actually out there doing some breakthrough things and, bringing the best of service to your clients. So I want to say thank you to you both. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
It's been really interesting to listen to you. It was interesting last time, but I just wanted to make sure that, we could share this, because I think for those that are just starting in business, they've had your input. For those that are actually thinking about business and, what they offer, you clearly offer, your bespoke, the fact that you, green, the fact that actually you're thinking about things for your solution for your clients. So, this offers a lot of insights to the listeners. So, hey, let's wrap this up and say thank you so much. And to the listeners, it's been awesome to be able to share this with you, because sometimes we just hear about the big businesses and we see all these TED Talks and things. I think these have got a place, but, I'm really keen to make sure that we can use local businesses, startup businesses, entrepreneurs to share their journey. So thank you.
Yeah, it's been good.
Until next time.
Thank you. Cheers, Tim.
Bye.